If you want to make millions of dollars in GTA Online completely solo, you'll be happy to know that it's now easier than ever before, thanks to the new Mansion update, which has introduced some pretty busted money-making buffs into the game. And I actually did a very similar video earlier this year for the Money Fronts DLC with the car wash, back when GTA 6 was still scheduled for November of 2025, and I more or less thought that would be the last video of its kind. But here we are 5 months later with a brand new delay, as well as a brand new GTA 5 Online DLC to go with it, and it doesn't seem like this will be the last one either, because we're probably getting another summer DLC before GTA 6 finally launches next year. So I'm guessing a lot of you lone wolves out there are probably hungry for a few new ways to make lots of money. Maybe you want to buy all 3 new mansions, maybe you want to get your hands on that brand new FMJ Mark V. Well, you're in the right place, because here are my top 10 ways to make money solo in GTA Online right now. Starting with the brand new business production boost, which is a feature that you can access from any wall-mounted terminal inside of your mansion, and what it does is put any single business of your choosing from this list here on a 24-hour steroid program. In practice, this amounts to a 200% increase in production speed, so everything comes off the line at 3x speed. There are some saying that this is a 66% boost. That's not really correct, that's just the amount of time that you save. So now it only takes 33% of the original time that it previously did to fill up a full bar of goods in your MC businesses, Acid Lab, or your bunker. If you have that mansion speed boost active, that is. And I'll give you an example here. Previously, filling up your Acid Lab from 0 to a full bar worth of $351,000 would take you 4 hours. If you use the Acid Lab's production speed boost, this time would be reduced to 3 hours. And now it's just 1 hour and 20 minutes with the mansion speed boost. But wait, there's more. If you also activate the Acid Lab's built-in default speed boost, that number goes down even further to just 45 minutes. And while the Acid Lab speed boost goes on cooldown after just 1 use, the best thing about the mansion buff is that it lasts for a whole day, 24 hours real life time. And then it's back again the next day with 0 cooldown. Okay, technically there's a soft lock on how much you can boost a single business, because you can't activate the mansion boost for the same business for 2 consecutive days in a row. But right now, my personal money grind rotation for this buff is between the Acid Lab and the bunker on alternating days, and I found that this makes me millions of dollars a day just from these 2 semi-passive businesses if I sit down for something like a 3 or 4 hour grinding session. And then we also have the brand new heist that's called No Way Out, and for this you don't actually need to own a mansion, which is pretty awesome. In fact, I compared this new heist that you get from Avi Schwartzman to the Cluckin farm raid in my very first money-making video for the Mansions DLC, and the more you think about it, the more they match up against either. In the case of the Cluckin farm raid, you drive to the golden V icon on your map. With No Way Out, you drive to this A icon instead. The only difference is that Vincent's location stays constant, which means you can just spawn into your nearby agency or apartment and race there in about 20 seconds, but for Avi, you have to do a bit more traveling between each mission. Then, as for the missions themselves, they're also very comparable in terms of difficulty and structure. In both of these mini heists here, you get paid for the finale, and the 4 or so missions that you do prior to the finale are just your setups. Well, in the case of No Way Out, you also make something like $30,000 to $40,000 extra from the 1st and 4th missions, but that's still peanuts compared to the $525K that you get in the finale. However, here's where I think the No Way Out heist really stands out. If you also finish the finale in hard mode under 10 minutes with 35 headshots and no failed hacks or quick restarts, you get an additional $100,000 as an elite challenge completion bonus. So that brings your total payout to $625,000 and potentially around $660,000 once you add in those bonuses as well from the 1st and 4th missions. And while that initial taxi driving mission can be very annoying, you can also speed it up significantly by exiting the depot in the 2nd phase and blowing up the billboards with sticky bombs while driving your very own personal vehicle. That should bring the completion time down under an hour. It's not much more complicated than the Cluckin Bell, and the only real enemy resistance you face is in the finale itself. Plus, both this heist and the Cluckin Bell farm raid can be done in average time, about 45 minutes or so each, and the No Way Out heist actually pays a lot more, even if it takes you slightly more time in comparison, which I think makes it superior from a money grinding point of view. Next, we've got the car wash from the Money Fronts update earlier this year, and while it has lost some of its shine from its initial days, getting $35,000 in just 3 to 5 minutes with zero cooldown between those missions is still a nice grind, and you can get these by calling Raph from your cell phone. You don't even need to be inside the car wash. Plus, the car wash itself is a gateway to 2 other businesses, Higgins Helitours and Smoke on the Water, which boost your income from the hangar by 10% and Grass Farm by 35%. The car wash is also quite cheap as a business, and it comes with a safe that accumulates passive income for you up to $28,000 per in-game day if you own every business in the game. And don't forget that it also buffs your counterfeit cash factory by 35%, so any sale you make from the laptop will be worth 35% more. Although I don't really grind MC that much anymore, and I mostly just sell to street dealers. However, if you're okay with those boring sell missions and you have them as part of your grind, I think you can actually make a lot more money from MC businesses now thanks to that newly added mansion buff. But if you like your money grind to have a bit more action and a bit less snoozing, you probably want to do the Oscar Guzman heist. I recently did a speedrun guide for this heist, which shows that if you use a couple of different efficiency tricks here and there, you can actually complete it in well under an hour, and it pays $750,000 on hard mode, which is getting dangerously close to Cayo Perico and Dr. Dre territory for a heist that has a basic 48-minute cooldown, and in order to do it, all you need is this hangar right here, which costs $1.5 million. It doesn't include a garage, but it does come with a capacity boost for your normal hangar, and you can even use it to store aircraft on its own. I think that if you're really bored of grinding Cayo over and over, you can make a nice 1-2-3 combo out of the new No Way heist, the Oscar Guzman questline, as well as the Cluckin farm raid for a cool $1.9 million in 2.5 to 3 hours. And speaking of Cluckin, we're almost at the end of 2025, and it's still, in my opinion, one of the absolute best money grinds for new players. Does it pay slightly less than No Way Out? Sure, but some of its missions are also slightly easier and faster, and you don't need to own a business to do it, just like No Way Out. And if you're a brand new player, all you really need to do this heist is a gun that shoots bullets and a vehicle that moves when you press the accelerator. That's it. Personally, I recommend a combination of the Special Carbine or Service Carbine as your main gun, and the Batty 801RR for your vehicle if you're trying to ball on a budget. Next, we've got the Garment Factory, which was released last year with the Agents of Sabotage DLC, and while it only has 4 missions in total, one of which is a priority job with a weekly cooldown, it's still a major component in my daily grind, as I can easily make $600,000 an hour by cycling through 3 of the normal FIB files. And if you're just trying to optimize for money, what you should do is alternate between Project Breakaway as well as the Fine Art file. Those 2 are the easiest of the bunch, and they can be reliably done in 20 minutes apiece. And while the Garment Factory doesn't offer much else for direct money making, I mean, I guess there's the office safe, but that sucks. It does unlock the Bureau Tech upgrades for your Terabyte, which can add a missile lock-on jammer, and more importantly, for all you grinders out there, a master control terminal. Now, with the Mansions DLC, you probably won't use your Terabyte MCT all that much, since you can just spawn into your mansion and then use the MCT in your office, but it's still nice to have if you're grinding crates, or if you're in a public lobby and want a mobile safe house that also lets you manage your businesses at the same time. The Salvage Yard also makes it onto my list here today as one of the best money grinding tools in the game, but I think the safe in the Salvage Yard office is a lot better for pure money making than the actual car robberies themselves, and let me explain how. First, you only get 3 robberies on a weekly rotation. You have your low tier vehicle, your mid tier vehicle, and your high tier vehicle, typically. Combined, these will pay around $1 million, and you can comfortably do all 3 heists in under 2 hours, which isn't bad at all, considering most of these missions are very entertaining and gameplay dense, unlike some of the prep work for Cayo or Cluckin. But then once you're done for the day and you've sold your stolen cars, that's it. There's no new robberies until next week. However, if you do just a couple of tow truck missions every hour, you can make up to $100,000 an hour in passive income just with the safe, as each car brings in $35,000 to $40,000 on its own, but your safe has a hidden popularity meter like the nightclub. So if you've done 4 tow truck jobs, you're at max popularity, which means you'll accumulate $24,000 every in-game day with that Salvage Yard safe. And from there, all you have to do is maintain that quote-unquote popularity level by at least doing just 1 tow truck job every 2 hours. Plus, your Salvage Yard staff also works offline, so right before logging off, you can do 2 more tow truck missions, and when you come back for your next gameplay session, you'll be greeted with an additional 80 grand in your bank account. And in the long run, this passive money income strategy makes way more money than the actual vehicle robberies. In fact, the more you play, the more you make, unlike the car robberies, which are hard locked to 3 a week. And nowadays, Rockstar is also being quite stingy with the claimable vehicles, which used to be a major selling point for the Salvage Yard back in the day. Next, we've got the Agents agency. And if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you already know that this is an S-tier business for solo players, not just because of the Dr. Dre VIP contract, which is a very cool way to make 1.1 million bucks about every hour, but also because the agency provides on-the-fly compact missions for moment-to-moment money making in the form of the security contracts as well as payphone hits. These are similar in function to the money laundering missions that you get from RAF, and while there is a short cooldown on both of these, you can alternate between one payphone hit and one security contract, which will easily make you over $200,000 an hour on its own. And if you've completed 200 security contracts in total, you'll accumulate $20,000 every single in-game day in your agency safe, and it never drops back down, unlike the nightclub or salvage yard safes. Then, on top of all the excellent missions, you also get Imani tech upgrades, the best personal armory in the game, and a centrally placed fast travel location from where you can access all your other businesses after refilling on snacks and armor. And now for a business that has also seen a massive buff with the Mansions DLC, the Acid Lab. It was already extremely good before, as you only get one sale vehicle, even with a full bar of stock ready to sell, and the Brigade 6x6 can literally be obtained for free just by doing the first dose missions. But now with the Mansions business production boost, folks, let me tell you, once you hit that 24-hour speed boost, your Acid Lab goes on one heck of a trip. And I'm not talking about the Joe Rogan kind either. It will pump out a full bar of product in just 1 hour and 20 minutes. Or you can get that down to 45 minutes if you also combine the built-in speed boost in the Acid Lab itself. Yes, you heard that right. You can stack the Acid Lab's default speed boost with the one in your mansion for extreme money making. And if you're too lazy to drive to your Acid Lab, you can also directly teleport inside it from your mansion itself using that brand new fast travel feature, which can take you to any service vehicle of your choice. The bunker is another excellent business to grind, and it matches up perfectly with the Acid Lab because now for every 2 Acid Lab sell missions with the mansion boost, you can do a single bunker sell with $210,000 worth of product, and the timing matches up perfectly for this 2-to-1 ratio. 2 Acid Lab cells is $700,000, and then if you do just one resupply, you get another $210,000 from your bunker with a guaranteed single cell vehicle, so that's $910,000 right there, or 1 Cinsomito tequila's worth of money in passive income every 2 hours and 40 minutes. So that's 10 money-making methods right there for solo players. But as a bonus for this video, I will also mention the special cargo warehouse, which hasn't technically received a direct buff, but that new mansion fast travel allows you to hop straight into a warehouse where you can then pay your staff $7,500 to source crates for you. And then you can hop back into the mansion and repeat this 4 more times to refill all 5 warehouses in just about 2 minutes. And if you have GTA Plus, you don't even need to lobby hop because you can just dispatch your warehouse technicians directly from the Vinewood app. This works for the special cargo techs, this works for Rooster at your hangar, as well as your bail office bail agents. And there you have it, everyone. Those are my top 10 solo money-making methods in GTA Online right now, updated for the Mansions DLC as well as 2026. I'd love to know how some of the new quality of life features have affected your grind personally, and which businesses do you guys think are the best right now? I'm sure some of you will have your own personal favorites that differ from what I've shown here, so feel free to share your reasoning as well as any tips, tricks, and your grind in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found the video entertaining or helpful, go ahead and drop a like on it. Consider subscribing to the channel if you are new and you want to see more GTA Online videos just like this. Also, feel free to check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushtv for daily GTA 5 Online money grinding live streams. And with all that said, I'll see you guys in a new video tomorrow. Adios, amigos.